أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Welcome to Collective Conversations with Khalifas. Thank you for joining us. We are going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
So the brother come down and talking big drunk. So we get ready for the FOI class every Saturday. We meet at the temple and go to FOI class and have call out. And we get ready to go to say we might go sell papers. Then we say, well, we know what kind of brother if he hangs with us and sell papers, we'll know who it is. So we'll pick an area to sell papers in. And it would be a place where out in the country where you had to walk 2 miles between houses. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Walk 2 miles between houses. And if he can hang with us, all right, then we'll endure what he claims he is. But it always never fails. We'll be out there soldiering. And it's the summertime too now. And then all of a sudden the brother said, well, Brother Captain, I got to take my mother to a doctor's appointment. It's on Saturday now. And then he'll fade away. And then we'll say, yeah, we ain't got nothing there. So that's what we do. And that's how we can measure the worth of a person.
Can I make a comment? I just had another recent situation. A brother called me, an immigrant brother, if I should mention that, out of Shreveport, from Shreveport. And he wanted me to officiate a marriage for him where it would have taken place Saturday. And I'm like, brother, you say you was out of Shreveport? I say, isn't there a masjid in Shreveport? He said, yes. He had met some lady. He had already sent me a message by way of Facebook Messenger saying he's trying to keep from committing haram. He wanted to do halal. So I'm like, brother, why you have to come all the way to the Mississippi Gulf Coast to marry? And he said, well, we want to spend our honeymoon. And I said, well, you still can get married in Shreveport and then come here and do your honeymoon. And so I didn't feel comfortable with that.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
And what do they call that kind of marriage? They have a name for it.
Well, if I should respond to that based on some recent information that came to me this year, last year, and I think I will officiate a marriage that was done that way. I was ignorant of it at the time, but in hindsight, and looking how it went, how it took place and ended quickly, there's something that they got going on called a halal kit. You know how back in where they would either the female, and they say that a lot of the females are arranging this. She'll get her, get her due, her financial due. They'll spend some time together, do the grown folks thing. So, and then they're divorced. And in hindsight, I feel that the marriage that I officiated 2 years ago, one of my longtime good friends here from Mississippi, and he called me and said, well, I need to know when you officiate a marriage because I've been talking to this sister, et cetera, et cetera. I said, fine. And so after they married, it was in September. And before the year was out, she called me and said, man, Tariq, I think it's on the right that I let you know first. That means the brother's not married anymore. He was hurt by it, foremost because she called me and told me. And I told him she don't call me, brother. He said, what? I said, yeah. So another friend of mine was telling me, based on a certain part area in this country where they do that a lot, what they got called a halal hit. Make the arrangement, get the dowry, whatever, spend a little time together, boom, and it's all done with, over with. So I felt that maybe that was done that way too.
Oh, no question. The idea
that's very.
Here's the concept. The brother's over here working, or got a store going or whatever, right? And he don't want to commit zina. So what he'll do is he'll marry a sister, so like in absentia, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's temporary. I forgot what they had, what they call it. It was a name for that.
There's a name for it.
Muta.
It's very popular in Iraq.
Oh yeah.
No, muta is the Arabic expression for that temporary muta.
What's that?
Muta.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's M-U-T-A in English, muta.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So that's basically what's going on. And they'll do that, and that covers them in their mind for anything that might happen.
Well, you know, Adam, if I may interrupt you, that brother back that was called me from Shreveport, I did ask him the question. I said, well, brother, I must ask you this question. Are you previously married? And he said, yes. I say, is she aware of it? He said, no. I said, well, brother, it's only respectful, in my opinion, that you bring this to the sister's attention. I'm not trying to deny anything that Allah has given us permission or the right to do. But you're not respecting her if you take on another wife and don't have a conversation with her. Allah already granted permission. And I say, where is she? He said, oh, she's in Palestine. And I knew right then he just trying to have that for a moment. And I said, no, I'm not gonna participate in this. And then it's just and then you remember the sister that female that I met some time ago, and I invited her to be a part of the credit union, who I said she currently worked for a bank. We still in communication on certain things. And she reached out to me recently too and said, ma'am, Tariq, this brother I met at my store, he proposed that we get married. We have gone out to eat occasionally. And, I said, well, I don't want to know too much now. And but I feel that nothing happened because, but after I had a conversation with her and text her, I gave her a verse in the Quran. That verse in the Quran, verse chapter back to Nisa, I think ayat 25. They mistranslated and misusing that verse where it says in English, and those whom you get benefit from. Okay? So based on the grammatical structure there, that language is talking about some permanent, not temporary. But is prevalently, I would say, here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast by some of the members that come to the masjid here, been doing it for a long, long time. And so, but I leave them where they at because it is, they have locked it in their mind. And some of these people identify with the leadership. They'll tell you quick, Imam Muhammad, my Imam. And I showed them some statements from the Imam when he was asked that question. And he responded by saying it's high class prostitution. where somebody broke a woman for you when you traveling and et cetera, et cetera. But the brother Bates said, well, I'm still gonna do it. But you say you're a student of Imam Muhammad. And nothing else you can do but leave that's where that's at.
Right.
Because what is it? Did the law say in the Quran? I think you can show them all the signs from the heavens and the earth. They still not gonna believe.
Right.
I've had brothers in times gone by. I was single at that time. Bought me a woman to me, on two different occasions. This happened to me, and they was younger than me. Talking about this is my uncle. Go take care of it. I was at an office I had at one time. I was doing interior design. And I say, both of you need to leave now. Then another one bought one by my apartment. I'm like, I can't believe it. And I'm like, oh my God, man. Allah forbid and protect me. But I'm like, I would never do that where nobody would know about it. Then they got something over me to use against me for their benefit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. No. Because I know how these Negroes think. And pardon me for saying that. that
No,
way.
no, you're right. You calling
So
it like now
we're gonna be
you would have
challenged.
been
We're gonna
popular,
be
man.
challenged
You'd
with
have had people come see you miles around.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And see, a lot of these
Yeah.
practices,
Yeah.
it was pre-Quran practices. And people going here and there, their contract of marriage just for the moment of them being there. And this stuff has followed one generation after another to present time.
Mm-hmm.
In the time of the prophet, was there a moment when they were basically at war with the Meccans, that
Yeah.
it was sanctioned for people to marry before the men went off to battle? I mean, I mean, I don't know what happened to those relationships afterwards, if they happened to survive and come back home. And I don't even know what the benefit. I guess there was some benefit in society for a woman to have been married to, somebody that fought with the prophet, even be say she was, the widow of a martyr, whatever. But that was mentioned in the Quran. Am I correct on that?
I can't recall right now if it is, but
Or is that just hadith? Am I thinking about hadith?
it might be.
Okay.
It may be. But it's some strange practices going on. And I'll be telling folks, I say, here's another thing. I said, you need to ask some questions. And they say, what you mean? I say, ask some serious questions, not only about finances, et cetera, et cetera. You need to ask some questions without getting steamed up and hot, when it comes to intimacy, sexual pleasures and everything, because you don't know. I can, man, there's some stuff people are into that Muslim, like that goes against goes against human nature. That's animal acts and stuff. But it's some foul stuff. Yeah.
But most people, they don't discuss that that type of thing. I mean, that would never come up with the wali. I would think that the wali would have a hard time, you know, uh, putting his lips into the proper position to get those words out, right? Um,
Yeah.
so that's, unless the two people are talking about it, it's not something that's going to come up.
Well, I have uh, consulted with some people, and I said you need to ask some questions because you do not know what they into and everything. You might be something that you're not into. So,
Oh
and
man.
yeah, and the reason I say that because, like I said, listening to some of the words that come out some brothers' mouth, I'm like, whoa, man. And but that's where they are. That is where they are.
Yeah, it's an
But
interesting quandary because on Tuesday nights I've been fairly regular listener to Sister Manira Uma's AM 360 program, all
Mm.
about marriage and courtship, right? And she makes a really strong case for an increase in marriages within our community, and it's legit. I mean, given anecdotal evidence, I don't take any surveys or anything, but anecdotal evidence that we have a lot of single men and women in our community.
Yeah.
I just, again, I'm the pace. It's the pace that gets me. That all the things, some of the things that we brought up just in this conversation tonight that need to be discussed, man, I don't get people in like 60 days or 90 days being really comfortable having a lot of these discussions when they're still working to get to know someone and trying to decide if this is the person they want to have these kind of discussions with.
Mm.
There's a real. Did you ever get that survey that she can email to you? It
No,
covers
she
a
didn't. She
lot.
didn't. She didn't send it to me. But okay, so she's done a survey or questionnaire that goes beyond what has traditionally been asked by
Correct.
Walis.
Yep.
Okay,
It goes into detail. I like it.
okay,
Let me make another comment. My last marriage, the sister was not from our community, and she come from two different backgrounds. Her mother was from Ghana, and her father was Lebanese, but she was raised in the Lebanese culture. Okay, so she was telling me that the sheikh taught them, do not ask questions because he might not want to marry you, and that's just that. No, and then she asked
interesting.
me the only question of seriousness that she asked me was this: do I beat women? And I say I beat them like I'm in a boxing ring, but I was joking and everything. So now I'm like, ooh wee, yeah, that's how a lot of people they are taught certain things, and I say, oh, I say, but that's just how it is. Yeah,
And
That is wild, man.
American women most definitely are not like that. So
you're right.
Right.
you can't hope on that at all.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
brothers, you all pardon me. I need to leave at this point right here, but this has
Okay.
been so very, very informative and inspiring. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of making these comments. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Like my
Wa
salam.
alaikum salam. Yeah, I need to get a hold of Manira's questionnaire and check it out because I don't I don't see.
I'm gonna try to send it to you. I may have it. I may
Okay.
still have it. It's
Okay.
been I was in there years ago. I was in her class, so I have it. I'll send it to you,
Hmm.
inshallah.
Okay. Because I mean I don't I don't see a whole lot of movement in our community um,
Towards what? I missed it.
toward
I stepped
toward
over.
toward a lot of marriages taking place at present time.
Uh, they are.
Are they? Okay.
I would
Then
say they
I'm
are.
just nobody's sending me an invitation then. I'm just missing
That might be this. But they are. But keep in mind, we are basically an aged community.
that. Yeah.
You understand? We're basically an aged community. I mean, there's certain misogynist that might have young people, but we're basically a community of people that probably not going to get married again. You follow me?
Right.
Um, that's one thing. But I do all the time see the invitations of people are getting married. Young people are getting married, and that's a good thing. That's one thing. So I wouldn't say we don't. We're moving away from it. I doubt that.
No, I didn't say we were moving away from it. It just seemed like there was a paucity. There was a lot, and maybe we need to do a better job of, like the New York Times, of publishing marriages. That should be an entire page of the Muslim Journal.
I agree.
Is marriages in our community.
I agree. That there should be.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing, I'm gonna get ready to go, but just to bring you up to speed on our discussion Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to introduce a resolution to our state imams council that the Council of Imams North Carolina make a statement in regards to that issue. All
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And if they issue a statement, we'll publicize it, we'll send it to the Council of Imams by Shirley, and we'll issue a statement somehow or another that this is our position.
Okay. Do you have?
So won't she?
Do you have a lot of the? I was going to ask you. Do you have a lot of the legal documentation regarding that whole event?
No.
Because I have.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
I have a bit of it.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I can give you the just the headers, and then you can find what you want on your own.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah.
And then I'm just based on our experience with him when he was serving as the imam's representative. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
That most of the imams in the state were around, except, Imam Khalil has passed on. If the brother in Statesville that passed on, but most of the rest of them are still around. Now, if they say yay, then that's it.
Right.
They want to have Adam Bial to be up on, or make it seem like it's a personal issue between me. No, it's not that. But I was thinking about that stuff. National representative, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was another national representative in our association that didn't go on to become the leader. You know what that was?
Yep.
Yeah,
I listened to that lecture.
Speaking,
I listened to that lecture not too long ago. Right. So I listened to that lecture a few weeks ago. He said, just because you're vice president don't mean you're gonna be the president.
Thank you. So using that logic alone don't mean nothing.
Right.
But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna see what I can convince these brothers to do, and see if we can coerce the national brothers to do something and put this thing to bed once and for all.
Once and for all. Which doesn't mean that the brother can't come sit on the floor, right?
Well, I didn't mean the other brother couldn't come sit on the floor.
Exactly. You welcome to come sit on the floor.
But he didn't want to. He tried for a minute, but I can't do this. I can do this.
So was that when he started stumbling around California drunk, where he came up with his bright idea? If we're talking about the same, well, okay. So
no, I'm talking about the Honorable
Louis
Farrakhan.
Farrakhan.
We're talking about the same person. You know, he went on an
Well, I don't know
18
about
month.
him being drunk. I missed that part.
Yeah,
So
he went on about an 18-month drunk.
okay, I'm not familiar with that, so I can't.
So was
Yeah.
it like 76 or something? Then 77, he started making his move, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, he got himself together. He got himself together, and yeah, because he said he couldn't. His words supposedly, there was no way in the world he was going to accept, because they gave him a position in some masjid in New York. There was a small masjid or something,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and I think he tried it for a little while, and it wasn't popping for him.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
And yeah, he couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. So he had to split. He went to California,
Yeah.
and he was out there bar hopping, playing a little music till he got his head together. What he's done counts as getting your head together. That I got from somebody that was there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't heard that part, but I know he started recruiting. Right. I didn't hear the drug part, but I know he had started recruiting early just to kind of see who,
Who was
kind of
with him? Yeah,
who was with him.
yeah. And he missed some people, because there were some people in Dallas, and Adam, I know you got to go. There were some people in Dallas, and I heard this from some people who were prominent in the community back in 75, 76, 77, that the first thing out of their mouth was the hypocrites have taken over the community.
Mm.
That's when Imam W.D. Muhammad announced, basically, and I think it really didn't happen to 76, 77, officially, that he just totally started to distance himself from all the businesses and the properties and all that stuff, and people who were leeching off the community. He cut off their lifeline of their money, especially when he basically walked away from the bank and the property in the South and some businesses. And I guess did they sell the plane?
The plane had been gone, man.
Plane had been gone. Okay. Yeah. But there were a lot of people that were angry, because a lot of people, it was kind of like the mafia. They were getting money from whatever was coming in.
Yeah, what the man did, he removed everybody from their power base.
Mm-hmm.
He sent all these big time ministers. He moved them to other cities, away from their power base, and it got to the point where they couldn't take it. Since he brought Farrakhan to Chicago.
Okay.
Away from New York.
Okay. So it was away from New York, not to New York. He brought him to Chicago.
No, Farrakhan was already in New York now. Farrakhan took Malcolm X's place. Under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Okay. Number 7.
Number 7. That was Farrakhan's.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what he was known for. Then brought him to Chicago. He didn't have that influence there. Until I guess when he finally got it, he decided to go to Mount Miriam and become the leader there. Right. But yeah, it was something else.
All right, Adam, close us out. We will obviously continue a lot of this conversation in the weeks to come.
Okay, then. Rabbana athana for dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa akida adhaban. Oh Lord, give us the best benefits in this life and the best benefits of life to come. And save us, oh Lord, from the torment of the hellfire. Amen.
Amen. Thank you,
I'm
brothers.
I'm gonna give you a quick call, Eric, make sure I send you this to the right email.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.